take a leaf out of someone's book to get your goals, to get what you want out of life. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 2105 of What You Up To Now. Documenting the journey originally as I came online from the offline world, decades, literally like almost 5 decades, probably 5 decades. I've been involved in different businesses and industries out in the physical world, as well as over a quarter century of that simultaneously working in executive roles and leadership roles in corporate America. Went to school to be an engineer. I know, nerdy engineer. Plus got a marketing and a management degree so that I could have my own businesses someday and be a hopefully good leader of my businesses and create some fun things in the world. That was my original intention, and I hope that I'm still working toward that goal and objective. So this year's annual challenge, the Get Your Goals annual challenge, we're heading into a brand new month. Welcome to November 1st. And every November, and I wasn't going to do it this year because I'm like, I don't really want to do it. I want to do something different. But every November, I usually do a no-nonsense November. And I find different ways, and the last few years it's been through challenges, to share some of the biggest mistakes I've made and the biggest lessons learned, because our lessons learned generally come from the things we've screwed up, the mistakes we've made in our life, or the obstacles that we've hit that we've had to overcome. And so I like to share that as, you know, in the hunting zone where I live, no shave November is a big deal, and the men don't shave all month of November. I know, it's a weird thing. It's kind of like hockey players don't cut their hair. It's a superstitious thing. So no shave November, and I turned it into, since I'm not going to shave my face anyway, ever, no nonsense November. So today our topic was looking at the 9-part life framework that I use and have used. I've only used 9 since 2021, the end of 2020, early 2021, when I got involved in a coaching program that was dealing with core skills and important skills that are applicable to all areas and aspects of our life. And those are communication and confidence. At least the 2 I picked out of it. There were more, but I picked communication and confidence to add to my life framework when it comes to how do I look at my life and how do I set goals. These are the 9 areas that I set big lifetime legacy goals in. And then every year I break them down into chunks to say, okay, if I want this before I die, what do I need to do this year? And I break those down into actually single daily actions so that I can do something every day and make it part of my rituals, routines, habits, whatever you call them, so that I achieve my goals and objectives pretty much on autopilot nowadays. I set the goal, I set the objective, I review it, I do all the steps. We have actually a 7-step process that we identified in January that is our process for part of the challenge. And we'll go over that again this month. We'll go over the SOAP framework again this month, which is a framework that I always did it this way, but I never had a way of describing it and sharing it with other people. And when the pandemic hit, I'm like, exploratives, mostly, like everybody else, what am I going to do now? What's going to happen now, given all the changes and all the craziness that's going on in the world that is totally outside of my individual control and our individual control, right? So much happened that was just dictated to us, not that we had any part or any say in. We needed to control the things we could control. So I formalized, how do I deal with challenges and setbacks and obstacles and things that seem impossible? And it came down to a 4-step process. And what did I do? I said, what are the 4 steps I go through of this process? And then I brainstormed different ways of describing that in one word. And I came up with the SOAP framework, which is story, options, action, and progress. How do I know? So I described that. We go through that every month because I want to make sure that everybody installs it, everybody that's listening installs it in their subconscious, just like I have. So when something comes up, I just deal with it automatically. My subconscious runs through the SOAP framework. You know, if it's a really big thing, it'll run through that and it'll tell me, hey, you need to pay attention to this and you need to apply your framework to it and actually consciously go through the steps. And I do that sometimes if it's a bigger thing or if it's something new that I've never experienced before, etc. But my subconscious has already used the steps to get me in a better position. So now I'm solution focused. I'm not focused on the problem at all or the obstacle. I'm like, what are we going to do about it? And the SOAP framework helps me do that. Again, our idiom today for the Supersize Your Business group was take a leaf out of someone's book. I love this idiom. I really, really do, because of course it started out as meaning plagiarism or copying something from someone, because B.H. Milken was the guy's name. He used it to describe what he was doing as he was translating a book by Gil Blas. No idea what the book was, but as he was translating it, he copied it page for page as he translated. And so he called that taking a leaf out of someone else's book, because he was copying what they did almost word for word, but into a different language, translating it. The word leaf and page in Latin, actually, the word for page is leaf. And so that made it an applicable saying and idiom as well. And now it's come to mean not plagiarizing, not cheating, not stealing, not copying verbatim, but modeling, meaning learning from someone else that's gone before you, learning the skills, the abilities, the mindset, whatever it is that we need to be successful in the way we want to be successful, by finding people that have successfully done something before and learning from them. Number one, learning from some of their mistakes. I hate it, but because it's embarrassing, but I love to share the stuff I've screwed up on. Why? Because if it can save one person from making that mistake that I made, it's worth a teeny bit of an embarrassment, although some of my mistakes have been very embarrassing. But it's worth it to help somebody else to not make that mistake. I say often that we are either an example or a warning to people in the world. When we're not conscious and we're not paying attention, we don't know what we're creating in the world, a lot of times we are a warning. But we can choose to be an example at any time by being a good human being. All right, that's all I've got today. If I can help in any way, ask jamgrandma@gmail.com is my Voxer handle. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.